Hello and welcome to another episode of Podfulness. Let's get started.
Welcome to Podfulness. I'm your host, Mark Bernstein, and on today's show, we are going to play a game with my guests called Top 10. At the end of every episode, that's when I play the game. It's usually something light, it's something I make up, and even though there are no prizes awarded, the guest still has fun with it because we're all competitive by nature. We want to win, even if we're not winning anything. And on the show today, I talk with Paige and we play a game called Top 10. So I think it's appropriate for me to open the show with a list of my own. Now, my real job involves meetings and presentations and Zoom calls and lots of other fun corporate stuff. And my colleagues use terms that I think need to be retired. So this is my top 5 list of corporate terms that need to be retired. Coming in at number 5, putting a pin in something. We can just say, let's talk about it later. So we don't need to put a pin in anything anymore. Coming in at number 4, the word initiatives. I hear that a lot. I don't think I need to hear it anymore. The number 3 term that needs to be retired, heavy lift. Is that too much of a heavy lift for you, Mark? Just using that term is. That's the only heavy lift in that sentence. Number 2 term that I think needs to be retired is pipeline. If we're talking about oil, it's okay. Everything else, I don't want to hear it. And coming in at number 1, the number 1 corporate term that I believe needs to be retired is bandwidth. These are terms that have served a function. They've had a nice run, but I don't think it's too much of a heavy lift to put a pin in all of them. And for that, I have enough bandwidth. Are you ready for Podfulness? Let's get to it. So here we are, episode number 3. This is my 3rd interview of the 2nd season, and we are going to talk with Paige. You're going to like her immediately. She's a junior in high school. She plays softball. She started her own unique club, which I'm not going to tell you about. You're just going to have to listen and or watch if you're watching on YouTube. And she goes against type. She's into music and activities and extracurriculars that you just wouldn't expect a teenager to be into. She is cool people. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get to know Paige. And I thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Podfulness. Paige, you are sitting in what I think might be the coolest room I've ever seen for a teenager.
Thank
So
you.
for those of you that are listening, I know you can't see it, but Paige, is that your bedroom?
Yes, this is my bedroom.
Yeah, describe it to me. What's going on in there?
Okay, so basically I have a very small room. So when I was in here, I was like, okay, I need to make it like myself since I can't add like furniture and stuff like that. So I just added a lot of pictures on my wall.
I love it.
Is the music and movies that I like. So we have like Kurt Cobain, The Smiths, Tame Impala, mid-90s, Taylor Swift. Then over here we have like a lot of other, like I just printed off stuff from Pinterest, like on my picture, and then I just like taped it on my wall and made it look really cool. And then I have like vines and stuff over here, and then there's my window. And then on the ceiling, I was like, I have to make the ceiling look cool. So we have like some Coldplay, some Tribe Called Quest, Steve Lacy, Kendrick Lamar, some other music I like. Then we have like Jimi Hendrix over here. And then, like,
look at you getting the Jimi Hendrix. Nice.
Yeah. And then some other pictures. And then I had a Biggie, like the Notorious B.I.G. poster right here. It fell down in the middle of the night. So that was like kind of spooky. And then I crocheted this like little star garland. And then here's like some skateboard pictures. And then I have like a vision board over here where like I put like all
good for you
about like grades and working out, my calendar, and then some other like pictures of me and my friends. And then I crocheted like
and lights.
Leaves right here, yeah, and then some lights. So I was just like, I need to make it myself since I can't, like, it's not big enough, so
yeah, Paige has got so much personality. It is great. And Jimi Hendrix, and we'll talk about all that. So the Biggie poster, did that happen to fall like on his birthday or something like that?
I don't remember when it fell. I think it fell sometime in the summer, but because I mean, so my dad got these for my birthday. I think like I don't even remember, but I think it was like my 14th. So they've been up here for a while. So Kurt Cobain is the only one who's stayed strong, but yeah, so he's in my closet, Biggie, but I just never got the chance to put him back out.
That's where he's been hiding.
Yeah, he's been
hiding. Okay. So you said crochet. You crochet? That seems so unique. How did you get into crochet?
So basically, it was just during like the pandemic, and I was just really bored because a lot of people were. And then I
Yep.
was on Pinterest, and I was like, oh my God, these are like really cute, like little bags and stuff. So then, there was like this old lady who had like this YouTube channel, and I just watched her for like hours and just trying to figure it out. And then ever since then, I just like never stopped. And I have like a full drawer of yarn, and like half my closet is yarn. And I'm working on a project right now. I can even show you.
Oh, here we go. For those
Yeah.
of you that are listening, Paige has
I
walked
made,
over and found, let's see.
I made
Is
a
it a
lot of
scarf?
So this is a top right now. So it's like long sleeve and then it has like the little back. So I'll be wearing that soon. I just have to finish this sleeve and then we're pretty much done.
But how
It
do you know what to do? Are you following some sort of guide online or does it just come to you?
Well, the thing is that like when okay, so like there's three stitches that you learn, like single, half double, and then double. And then once
Okay.
you like the main three, then you can kind of make anything you want. So, and then there's like basic patterns like that you do with those three stitches. And
Yeah.
then once you learn how to do that, that's when you can just kind of do anything. So I actually really hate following patterns because you have to like follow along with it and do everything that they're doing. But I'm just like, you just measure it like for you and yourself, and then you just make it. So yeah, I've just kind of learned to follow my body and just like see like what fits for me and then just make it like that. So
So obviously it takes a long time. So what does it do for you? Does it do something for you mentally,
yes.
physically? Like what happens when you're actually crocheting?
Well, first thing is that it's just like really fun and really relaxing, and that it's something that like I don't even have to think about because since I've been doing it since COVID, my hands just like they know the exact motion to do, they know the stitches that to do. So it's just like so like I just don't have to think about it. It's like mindless television. But it's also it helps me put like my energy and emotion into my hands. So like if I'm angry or if I'm sad or if I'm anxious,
Oh,
it just all goes into my hands and goes into what I'm making versus staying in my head. So it's just like transferring the energy throughout my body into places where like it's safe and I won't get upset or I won't get mad. And it really calms me down as well. And then
that's
like,
excellent. I mean, when you
yeah,
think about all the people on your wall, all those musicians, they probably
yeah,
did it was probably the same thing with them, right? They're transferring that energy into their hands.
yeah. So that's just, it's what helps me, just, and also like focus as well. And I do it during school, like all the time. I do it in like all my classes and stuff. But I never let it get in the way of like my note taking or anything. It's a way to hone in and focus. So yeah,
So it's kind of your version of a fidget spinner,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's
Good thing.
productive.
Yeah, for real. And then I make clothes and stuff for other people and Christmas gifts. So it's great.
Paige, that seems to kind of go against type as what a typical I just made that word up, what a typical teenager would be into. How are there things that make you typical?
Um, yeah, like, well, I mean, I stay on social media like a lot. I'm on social
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
And then I do listen to like a lot of like the new age, music. Um, but I mean, I don't
So
know. I
you're
thought
kind of you're
that,
your own person. You're very unique.
yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
anything else? Because I imagine not a lot of your friends are into crochet, right?
not really, but then I started a crochet club at school, so I'm president of crochet club at my school, and
Nice.
I made that club one because like I wanted to like make friends who actually crochet so that I could, it's really fun when you can talk to other people about their projects and everything that they're working on, what yarn colors they like and stuff. So it's really good when you connect with a person that like something you really, really
Of
enjoy.
course, of course.
So yeah.
So what are some other things that you're into? How else do you spend your free time?
Free time, usually listening to music, crocheting. I do like to read sometimes, but honestly, like school and like the books they give us have kind of taken out my love for reading. But and
You
then
know,
I've
I hear that all the time. That's really sad.
it is just because like there's so much pressure for school, like you have to get it done now, you have to annotate now, and it's kind of taken out my love for just having time to relax and read.
Hmm.
But over Thanksgiving break, I'm hoping to get back into reading.
Yeah.
Um, but I also love exercising and I love working out. Like walking and then going to the gym are just like my favorite things to do.
Oh
It's
yeah. Okay.
yeah, it's another way to like transfer energy like into your like throughout your body and
Well,
stuff
you
and not
sleep better.
yeah,
It's
and
better for you.
right, and you just like look better and everything. Like there's just so many benefits to it.
Do you
So
play any sports at your high school?
yeah, I play softball. I've been
Okay.
playing softball since like maybe fifth grade or so. And I love the sport. I do have a big passion for it, but I don't know, just kind of as you go through different teams and different schools and stuff, sometimes the people and coaches and stuff, it can kind of make you feel, I don't know, make you lose some interest in the sport and the passion for it. But either way, I like it's another thing that's just like mindless that you just kind of do, because like you've done it so many times for all these years.
Yeah.
So you just I really do love it because of that, and like because I just know how to do it, you know?
Have you stayed injury free?
Yeah, for some reason I
Nice.
do not get injured like at
Okay.
all. I think the worst thing that happened is like I like cut my finger or something, but otherwise I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
So
But
I
I know you're also into photography, right?
yes, yes. I'm
Yeah.
actually taking pictures tonight at one of the games. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
and but you carry around an actual camera. It's not just on your phone.
oh yeah,
So from what I understand that you've told me, you carry around an older digital camera,
yes.
and you're always taking pictures and posting them for your friends, right?
Yeah. So basically, I have like this very small digital camera that my grandma gave to me in the summer. And it's I really like having like a digital camera because just carrying like lugging around that big camera, it's nice because people like, oh, you look professional, but it's just like
Yeah,
yeah, lug it around everywhere.
right.
Um, and I love it because it kind of gives like a 90s like vibe to it and like an older vibe. And it just like looks so cute and it makes everybody just like look good and stuff. And I just love taking those pictures because it just makes it seem like so much more fun.
Yeah.
Um, and just kind of like back in time where like just like I don't know, like the 90s seemed like such a fun time, so having like a thing from it kind of brings that back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So and so much of your musical taste comes from the 90s too. I can tell by the pictures on your wall.
yeah.
Um, you said when I asked in the questionnaire out of a scale of 1 to 10, what's your happiness level? You said a 9,
Yeah.
right? So you're a happy young lady. And are your friends also 9 out of 10s, or do they deal with a little bit more mental health crisis? Or
I would say it's kind of weird because I've noticed that like a lot of the time my friends have a lot of other issues.
Mhm.
Um and like just either like issues with family and issues with just like friends or just social life or whatever, or just like anxiety or depression. Um and I'm not saying like I'm a nine like all the time, obviously, but
Right.
I just like I don't know. I'm just kind of like a happy person and I feel like I can always look on like the bright side of things and like there's just always something like going for me, which I know sounds kind of like, but it's just kind of weird because the people I surround myself with sometimes are usually not like that. So sometimes I'm like a person who like brings them up, and
Yeah.
they are kind of like a person who like comfort people, So
Yeah.
so I don't know, but I mean, all the friendships I have are very genuine, like very like I love them to like death.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
but sometimes it's just weird because I've noticed I'm like, why is my life like really good and some people are like really bad? Which I know that sounds bad, but um, I guess sometimes I realize that maybe I'm here to like help people.
Yeah. There's an awareness though, right?
Yeah, for
Which
sure.
is kind of rare. Let's face it. For teenagers, you're aware of other people and
Mhm.
then their needs. And that's
Yeah,
super awesome. I love that page.
yeah,
Social challenges. You had mentioned there's a little bit of FOMO, right? FOMO is a relatively new term, but it's always been there. It just didn't have a name, right? So even when I was younger, I was worried like, am I missing out on some fun stuff? So do
right.
you have that fear of missing out?
Yes, it kind of dialed down, but I would say like freshman, the sophomore year, like just
Hmm.
as of entering high school. Because I mean, you like watch all the movies, you hear all these things, you hear about the parties, you hear about the boys, whatever, and you're just like, oh my God, like, am I not living like the high school dream I'm supposed to be living? Because I know like some of my friends, like they were like out like partying, doing other stuff, and then I was like, oh, should like I be doing that? Like, is that what I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because I feel like through the media we're just told that like this is the way you live high school, this is the way you have to be when you're young, like F it all, like YOLO, do it now,
Yeah.
so like even on TikTok I still see like we're not teenagers forever, like go crazy, like get drunk, do whatever, and I'm like oh, we'll see, but I feel like it's just like living the life that like you want to live, and the life that's like made for you. Like for some people, like that's fine, like they're totally fine with just going out partying, getting drunk, doing whatever, but that may not be the life that like you're supposed to live.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no specific high school life that like you need to have. It's just the one that like you want to have.
Yeah. But isn't that what social media does though? It tells you how you're supposed to be living. So how does when you go to actual parties in high school, how do they compare to the parties that are represented in the movies or on TV shows? Are they the same or are they a little bit more low key? What's going on?
The party I went to, I'm trying to think. I'll compare it to like something like in Mean Girls or something because it was like a Halloween party.
Yeah.
So it was, I would say, a little bit more low key. Like I would say, okay, I would say there's not like people like making out like everywhere, like on the walls and stuff. Like usually people are like in like a closed like bathroom or place or something.
Uh-huh.
But I would say the one thing about it is just like the feeling that like, oh, I'm at a party. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
kind of feeling that like you're not missing out, like you're in the action is still like the same. So I feel like, and that's the I feel like the reason people really only go to parties or do this stuff is so that they can say it like, oh, I went to this party, oh, I did this, oh, I did that. A lot of it is so that you can just tell other people. And
Hmm.
a lot of it is just for the experience. Like the reason people are like, oh, I'm afraid of missing out. Oh, I'm afraid of doing this. Oh, I need to live right now is just because they feel like they need to have the experience that like the media tells us we need to have when like there's you don't have to. It's just like it's just what they say.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's really all just about experiencing things and feeling things. Even if you didn't really enjoy it, it's really just to experience and say that you did it.
Yeah.
So like for the movies and stuff, I feel like that's kind of like the same thing. Like, the just like idea of like a party.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know. I would say they're maybe a little bit low key, but it depends on which one you go to. Because some people like that's insane,
That's right.
like
Right.
Project X type stuff. But
Oh yeah, Project X, right. Okay.
but for some, it's just like more low key or just like more like local and stuff. So
Yeah.
it just really depends like who you're with.
Well, I want to transition into some of the things that you're streaming and what you're watching and listening to. But before we do that, is there anything that you want to ask me? Is there any question that you've always wanted to ask an adult, but you've either been afraid to or felt too embarrassed? Because I
Mm,
speak for all adults out there.
okay.
Okay. Is there
um,
anything?
well, okay. There's one idea that like I've been kind of boggling with in my
Uh-huh.
head, like, going into adulthood. Like, what is that like feeling when you like graduate college or when you're like out of high school or whatever, and then you ask that question like, what is the next step in life? Like, that's what I'm getting like as I'm approaching senior year and stuff and going
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I actually have to like think now. I have to actually like decide what I want to do. So what's like that? What is that like feeling like? Like, and what did you do? Like, did you?
That's a really interesting question, Paige. So when I graduated from high school, I knew I was going to go to college.
Right.
So I was excited to go to college. And then your senior year of college, you're excited because you think you're ready for the world, right? You've been learning all of these things in classes, even though you're not getting any real world experience. And then you come out and you're convinced, like, I'm going to get hired because I'm a college graduate. I'm optimistic. I can interview well. And then it's like not necessarily that. So what happens is, yeah, it's kind of deflating. At least it was for me. I'm hearing now so many people come out of college and they land six-figure jobs right away. They have job offers even before they graduate from college, which is bizarre to me. But for me, there was certainly an excitement about what's next. Like I'm ready to be an adult. But
Right.
you also have to be aware that you still need help along the way.
Yeah.
So you know so I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
Yeah.
it's like any new stage. It's at least, I hope for you, which I think you have this in you, you just have to be ready for something different and you don't know how it's going to turn out, and just to be comfortable with whatever happens. That's what was supposed to happen, and then if there are challenges, I will face this adversity and I'll get through it because I know I can.
Right. Okay.
you
Yeah.
know so there you go. And that's how, at least I answered it. I don't know how other adults would answer that, but that's such a great question.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paige. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move to our stream sesh time. Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. 4 to 6 hours a day on your device. Is that right?
Yes.
Paige, you're on that phone a lot. So you are
No.
checking out. Yeah, go ahead. You were about to defend yourself. Go ahead.
Well, okay. So I would say most of that time is listening to music. Most of that time is on social media. And then also, like, I would say it's divided up pretty equally listening to music, social media, and then like talking to people. So, like, still being social, but like through like FaceTime or text messages or whatever.
So
So,
you are including just listening to music as part of your screen time.
yeah.
Are you looking at the lyrics as the song goes on, or is your phone in your pocket as you're listening?
It depends. Sometimes I'm like like if it's a song I just really like then I might like my phone's in my pocket, or I'm like either doing something else like exercising or crocheting or something.
Yeah.
Uh, but, like if it's like a song I'm like trying to learn the lyrics or something, then I look at the lyrics. But I would say like okay, I would say the phone, like listening to music is screen time just because like it's something else that's like filling your head,
Yeah.
like it's something else in your ears. It's like you're still distracted in some way, which I feel like is screen time.
Right.
So
Well, then
yeah.
how did you get, if you're listening to music, how did you get into 90s music? How did you get into Kurt Cobain and Red
Oh,
Hot Chili Peppers and Smashing Pumpkins. How did you find those groups?
so my dad was in a rock band since well, like he's been in one since I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old. So
Okay.
I've grown up around that music like forever. Like I remember he was literally playing was that like the Clash when I was like eight
Yep.
years old. I was like, Dad, oh my God, turn that music down. Like it's so annoying. But then I just kind of learned to love it and just appreciate like rock music in the 90s and stuff. And I just love the music so much. So I feel like he really got me into it. And then my best friend, who I've been friends with since seventh grade, like her dad is like the same exact way, and her parents, and like her family is just like a very like kind of hippie rock, that kind of
Yeah.
vibe. Anytime I went over there, they were always playing music and she was always showing me these new songs and everything. So I really learned like half of my music taste from her and then half from my parents. So I just love it. Just love the idea of the 90s and just kind of like rebelling and kind of just like being who you are and who you want to be in this world. So
Yeah.
it's just a really refreshing music to
So
listen
who
to.
would you love to go see? Obviously, you can't see Kurt Cobain anymore, but if you had the chance to see him, or who would you just go crazy if you could see them perform live?
I would say Jimi Hendrix is one. Wait, is this just from the 90s or like
So,
whoever?
I was thinking the 90s, but it could be anytime, Paige, anytime.
Okay. I would say Jimi Hendrix, Fleetwood Mac. Who would I love to see?
Fleetwood Mac.
But I did go see Smashing Pumpkins and I went like absolutely crazy for it. It was like so, so good. There was a lot of like older people there, so I
Of
was
course
like,
there were.
yeah. And there was just like a
There's
lot
no
of
one your age going to a Smashing
I know
Pumpkins concert.
there was just like a lot of old white people there. So I was just like, oh hey. So yeah, but it was a really, really
Did
fun
they
time.
ask if you were lost? Like,
No, well, they
like the
never
SZA concert's next weekend. You're at the wrong place. Did they say that?
and then I went to go see SZA too. But
Oh, good.
they were just like, oh, you guys like pumpkins? Like, oh, no. And I was like, yeah, we do. So it's just kind of, and then I was with my other friend and she was also black. So it was just kind of like, I guess like a rare sighting for them or something.
Uh-huh.
And then people came up to us and they're like, oh my God, you guys just look so adorable. You look so cute. Because I came in just like this little, like cute little outfit and stuff. So I don't know, just like people's reactions to us was like kind of like weird. And I was like, well, also because we're young, but also because we're black. But I don't know, just like seeing like the young and the old in like these spaces,
I
it's
mean, are
like,
you trying to tell me that music is for anyone?
yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
of course, right. I know, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I love that.
for the 90s, okay, for the person I would really, really want to go see. Honestly, I think I saw them. I think it was Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh
And
yeah, okay.
yeah, but like if Kurt Cobain was alive, I would go see them. And then the Smiths too. I love the Smiths. So
You're into the Smiths?
I love the
Oh,
Smiths.
Paige, you are something else.
I know.
All right, so you've got very unique music. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, what was that?
and then Rage Against the Machine. I would like to go see them.
Okay. You
Yeah.
are all over the place with your music. I love it. So talk to me about Instagram. How important is Instagram in your life?
Very good. And I know that sounds like really like whatever, but I stay on Instagram like every day. So I have like I think 1,000 like 265 followers or something like that.
That sounds more than just an approximation. It sounds like you just looked at that number.
Well, I like know it in my head,
Okay.
but okay, so like there was something really interesting about Instagram and like the way that like we view Instagram. Okay, so basically like when like people have like their Facebook personalities or whatever, like when you're like looking through people or whatever. So like that's like Facebook is like Instagram for like us. So the way you
Yeah.
present yourself online is the way that like people are gonna view you. So like if you like for one thing, like I put like my music taste and I put like what I do, my crochet, my photography out there, so that people could tell that like, oh, she does like all this stuff. She's really cool. She listens
Hmm.
to blah, blah. So like who you are online is basically who you are in real life. Because like sometimes I see people. Sorry, can I blow my nose really, really quick?
Of course you can.
Sorry.
We'll be right back after this message from Kleenex brand tissues. So, Paige, with my generation, what I noticed, like if you're going through something terrible in your life, they would post on Facebook. They would post it on Facebook, but you never see them post something like that on LinkedIn or on Instagram.
Right.
So, what is the app that your friends use where they go and they post gripes or they post serious events that are going on in their life? Or is there one?
Okay, well, there on Instagram, there's a thing called like a spam account. So basically, like you have your main account, where like you post all your good pictures and everything, and then your spam, you kind of post like your silly pictures and just like other stuff with friends. But honestly, I feel like nowadays, like social media okay, well for TikTok, some people, okay, I don't know if you've seen TikTok or not, but people on TikTok, like, it's just whatever. They really don't care.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say, like, for me personally, and just like who I'm with, there kind of is no place for you to like do that because on social media, it's like you're showing everyone the best version of yourself, what you want to be
Mm,
perceived as. So, like, if people are just randomly scrolling through social media, they're clicking on you and they're like, oh, she's cute. Oh, she does this. Oh, she does that. They're not gonna want to know that like your grandma died like another day. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So it's really just putting your best self out there and then having like your kind of worst version of yourself or who you're hiding just here, you
I
know?
never really thought about that. Do you think that contributes to mental health issues with young people that they're forced to sort of be positive or put the good stuff out there and they're not processing what's really going on? That's troubling.
Exactly. Because like you don't want to show everyone that like, oh yeah, I look really pretty today. Like you want to show people the good side of you. You don't want to show them what you're really struggling with or what you're going through because one, people are either gonna judge you and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, she's like, like
Mm.
some people just I don't know. You always want to put the good stuff out there. Like you don't want to let people know what's really going on with you because like no one has to know.
But do
So
you have an outlet to do that off of social media? Do you talk to your friends about that?
for sure. Like I
Okay,
talk to
good.
my parents and my mom and like everybody. So because I like vent to everybody, but on social media it's different because it's like strangers don't know you and just like it's people that like you've never really met before who can just
Hmm.
click on you and they can view you and then they can have like this whole idea about you. And that's another thing is that like the persona that you put on Instagram is like the persona people give you in their head. Like I see people on
Yep.
Instagram and I'm like, oh my God, she's so pretty. Like she's so cool. She's so this. But then when I like met them in real life, I'm like, oh, they're actually like really, really mean, or they're really, really B word, or they're really, really this.
Uh-huh.
So you put the best version of yourself out there and people make up whatever in their mind they want to make up with you.
So
But
I've always told my boys, whatever picture you take and post online, it's there forever because people can screen grab it and like, they can share it with their friends. Do you live with that awareness also?
yes. So, okay, like I sort of, okay, here's the thing about like social media now is
Yeah.
that like we've kind of gone to a point where like it doesn't really matter. Where like a lot of people post whatever, a lot of people's stuff get leaked, whatever. Like I feel like it's not taken as serious, especially by our generation. Because like sometimes I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'm like, girl, put some clothes on. Like,
Uh-huh.
some people just really they don't because we're just kind of in this generation where like we're used to people watching us, we're used to people seeing us all the time.
Yeah.
So like, whatever you put on there, if it stays on there, it's like whatever,
Yeah.
Like are they really gonna use it against you and be like, oh, I saw this picture of you. Okay, everybody else's picture is on there,
Yeah. Right.
That kind of awareness and that kind of feeling just kind of goes away. Like it doesn't matter who's looking at your account. It doesn't matter if some like old guys like looking at your account or whatever, because everybody's looking at it. Like
That's fascinating.
watching you. So
And on TikTok, are you on TikTok? Do you have an account that you share things or are you just there to look at other accounts?
I have an account that I share things. Most of it is about my crochet. Um,
Okay.
I actually got like 10,000 views on like one of my crochet TikToks and it was like really, really cool. And then like I post like some other like stuff just like on me and like my friends. But I like when I post things, I'm never really thinking about who's scrolling and who's watching my stuff. I'm just like, it's just there and whoever sees
Yeah.
it because I'm not thinking that like some predator or some crazy guy is like looking at my stuff. Like you don't think about the worst outcomes. You just think like, oh, I'm gonna post it. My friends are gonna like it, and this
Yeah.
guy's gonna like it, and that's it. But you're not thinking about the world viewing you. You're just thinking about your world viewing you.
But do you ever delete posts that people don't like? I have a family member and she said if she posts something and if she doesn't get like 10 likes in the first couple of minutes, she takes it down. Like,
Mhm.
do you remove things because they weren't popular online or they didn't get enough play?
Well, okay, so like for my pictures, it really okay. Well, here's the thing. I don't really care about like if people like my stuff or not, to be like completely honest. Like I care obviously because I'm posting it, but like if it looks cute on my feed, I'm gonna keep it up. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you don't like I think it's cute. But like I can tell like some people it's like like they say like sex sells in Hollywood. So like if I
Hmm.
have a picture where like I'm looking better, like something's out more, then like that'll get more likes than versus like if I post something about like my choir or something like that
Yeah.
versus like more, simple or something more like calm versus something being like extra. Like the extra stuff gets a lot more likes than like just the kind of like fun stuff than
Yeah.
like so
And
so
you spend time on Pinterest too, which is not considered social media. It is, but it isn't.
I love Pinterest though.
And are
because
you selling things on Pinterest yet?
selling,
Yeah, your crochet.
you don't sell on
You
Pinterest.
don't? Okay.
No, you sell on like Etsy, and you can
Oh,
sell on.
Etsy. That's right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. I got them
I was
confused.
about to
Silly
say.
me.
But I love Pinterest simply because like there's not any like comments, there's not really anything that's like kind of forcing you to be like, oh well, you should do this, you should do that. Like it's not a whole
Yeah,
bunch of stuff. It's really just like, and it really caters to you too. So like you put in what you like, what you want to
of
see,
course.
and then it comes back out. So like if I type in I want to see crochet, I want to see my music taste, like that's how I got all these pictures and stuff because I just looked it up on
Yeah,
Pinterest. So like Pinterest is a good place to just like see exactly what I want to see and not see everything that the world wants me to see.
yeah.
Um, so it's still social media in that way. Like you can still comment and
But it's
stuff,
a warmer, friendlier place, isn't it?
and it's just so much more personalized than like everything else on social media.
Are any of your friends, anybody in your groups on Twitter at
No.
all? No.
I'm
And
not gonna lie, no. I mean, okay, so like if there was like a silly video or something that like got leaked and like can't show on like Instagram or
yeah,
TikTok, go
right,
to Twitter. But otherwise, I don't use Twitter. I don't even know how to use Twitter, to be honest. So
right. Yeah, you'd learn. I think you'd figure it out. I
I
don't know how
hope,
to use Instagram. I need a lesson from you, I think. I
yeah,
don't understand the settings. Yeah, I don't even know. I know I need to be on social media to try to get people to hear about Podfulness, but it's so much work.
yeah,
It's
it
so much
is.
work.
And honestly, like I've seen this a lot, like with creators like trying to like promote their stuff through social media, and like it can be so hard. Like for me, like I mean, for my crochet, like I'm not really like pressured to like post it. I just post it because it's fun. But
Yeah,
like taking process videos and everything, or just trying to make everything look right, it can be just so hard just for people to like see you. Like social media is all about just people seeing you and attention. And when you don't get that, it can kind of feel like, oh, am I really this? Am I really that?
yeah, right.
I want to talk about real quick is that like there's this kind of idea that like if I didn't post it, did it happen? I don't know if you've heard about this.
No, what does that mean? If you didn't post it, it didn't happen. Okay, what does that mean?
Like this question, like if I didn't post it, did it happen? Because usually right now, like for me, I kind of post, I don't post everything, but like if there was like a significant thing that happened in my day, or if like there was something cute that happened, then I usually post it. But like that's for me, because I wanted to like make it look cute on Instagram or whatever. But like if I like, so say I went to like this is a concert or whatever, and I didn't post any pictures, I didn't do anything, I didn't take any videos, I didn't post
Yeah.
any, it's like didn't really happen, because like if I tell people like, oh yeah, I went to go see SZA, they're like, oh well, where was your post about it? Oh, where are your pictures about it? So it's like that
Oh, so
balance.
people think you're making it up if you have
Maybe
to
not,
post
like
it?
maybe not like making it up, but people are like, oh, I've seen the proof that you went to this as a concert and you're not just saying it. Because like if you're like, because I mean that's kind of like a big thing. So if that's like a big thing that like should have been posted, people are like expecting you, like, oh well, where's your post about it? Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, cool. But like you
So it's
it's you
like you're gaslighting yourself. Like, does that make sense?
like sort of, so like it basically, if there was like a big event that happened, usually you post it, and then when you tell people like, oh, I want to go this see this, then they're like, oh yeah, we saw her post about it. But like when you don't, people are kind of like, and they don't necessarily think that like you're lying, but it's just kind of like a societal expectation that like if it's something big like that, you post it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've not heard of that.
So some like one of my friends was even telling me that like
It's
she went to like
sad.
do this place and like she went to this thing, and I was like, I didn't think she was lying, but I was just like,
Why
I
didn't you post about it? Hmm?
exactly, it's
Yeah.
just kind of that question like, oh well, if that was really cool and that was a big thing, why didn't you post? So it's just kind of this expectation that like if it's really big and if it's really cool and if you want people to see it, you post it.
I like how much time you spent thinking about this because most people do not.
Yeah.
Most people don't think about what social media is doing to you, and you're so grounded and centered.
Thank you.
That's great. So, Paige, what I want to do is I want to play a game with you also. Since you are really into pop culture and you love concerts, I think you're going to really do well on this next game that I prepared for you. Paige, did you go to any concerts over the summer?
Summer. Yes.
Okay. So it was a big summer for music. A lot of people were on tour. So
Mhm.
what I want to do is I want to see if you can tell me who the top tours, is tours a word? The top grossing tours of summer 2023 were.
Okay.
All
Yes.
right. So You don't have to give me them in order, but I'm going to write down who you think were the 10 biggest acts, the highest grossing acts of summer 2023. And I'm going to
Okay.
see how it compares to the actual list.
Okay.
Okay. So who's the first person or group that came to your head?
Okay, wait. First, summer is June, July, and then August,
That's right.
correct?
We could
Okay.
throw May in there if you want to, or September. I don't know the exact dates, but
Okay.
sunny
Okay.
time, sunny days.
Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Taylor. We'll put Taylor down there. Okay.
Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa, like that whole big tour thing that was happening.
Snoopy
Um,
Wiz. Okay.
SZA, but that was like more of a fall concert. But I know she was going on tour, and it
Okay.
was um Drake.
Drake. We're going to put Drake in there. Okay. We'll see.
Okay, well, Smashing Pumpkins did. I don't know if they're like
It's safe to say Smashing Pumpkins is not on this list. These are
okay.
more mainstream current top 40 bands.
Okay.
But I love that right now Billy Corgan is smiling. Like, yeah, I got a fan.
Yeah, it was a really good night. And then I'm trying to think. Looking at my wall for like inspiration.
Well, maybe they're not necessarily catered towards you. Maybe could be my age.
Your age. Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
let me take that back. There's only one person on this list that's even close to my age.
Okay. Let me think. Can
Most
I
popular concerts. Do you need a moment to think?
look? Wait, can I like look really quick?
No, what are you looking at?
No,
You mean get your
okay.
phone out? Of
Okay.
course not.
Just look through my Spotify and like see what's going on.
No, that's cheating. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm really trying to think. Okay, so like Taylor Swift, Snoop Dogg. Oh, who else like went on tour?
Who
Um,
else? Who else would be on this list? Popular musicians,
really like really
popular
pop.
bands. Yeah. When you hear these names, you're going to say, "Oh, why didn't I think of that person?"
Maybe like I don't know, like Harry Styles. Didn't he go on tour or
All right,
something?
let's put Harry Styles on there. Okay.
Justin Bieber, maybe.
JB. Okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6. Can you think of 4 more? If you're
Mm,
just tuning in, we're playing top 10. That's the name of the game. And
um,
Paige is coming up with the top 10 highest grossing tours of summer 2023.
okay. Highest grossing. Okay, probably not, but maybe Steve Lacy,
Steve Lacy.
popular artist. Oh my gosh, I like really can't think. Because all my music is like from back in the day, so like
You're not even, what about the Queen?
the Queen.
Queen. Queen Bee.
Oh, Beyonce! Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about her. Okay, sorry. I know I love Beyonce, but like I don't listen. Okay,
All right,
Beyonce.
you have to come up with 2 more. We're not
Okay,
going to finish this game. You have to come up with 2 more. Just throw out 2 random names or bands.
okay.
I know whoever is listening right now is on their phone and they already know the answer and they're yelling it out.
Okay. I want to say like One Direction.
One Direction.
That's definitely not on
Harry
there.
Styles lists One Direction. Okay.
Okay,
And
and
then
then one more.
and finally,
I'm just gonna
oh, you're
say
gonna fail this game miserably. You're gonna flame out so bad. We're gonna leave that blank. We're gonna leave that blank
okay,
because I
okay.
don't think you're gonna come up with it. Okay, are you ready? These are the highest grossing tours of summer 2023. Coming in at number 10, The Weeknd.
He went on tour?
He had 30 shows this summer,
Oh
according
my
to
god.
my data.
I
Yep.
did, I totally forgot about it.
$185 million he brought in.
Wow.
Luke Combs was number 9.
Oh, I don't listen to Luke.
I know, I know. He also had 30 shows, 125 million. Morgan Wallen or Whalen? Is it
Okay, yeah.
Whalen?
Morgan Wallen.
Morgan Wallen. Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
I listen
Okay.
to it sometimes, but I wouldn't have I
Okay.
was the
Coming in at number 7, we went with Elton John.
Oh,
And he had 63 shows. He played 63 shows over the summer.
that's crazy.
195 million.
I didn't even know any of these people went on tour.
Yeah, I know. I know. But look at this. You're coming in with Harry Styles at number 6.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
That's
I
right.
think I saw somebody's post, so
Yep. Harry Styles. Pink was number 5.
I totally forgot. And she
Yeah.
literally came here. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Pink. Coming in at number 4, believe it or not, Coldplay.
Oh, okay. I was looking at them on my wall. I felt like they went on tour, but I couldn't. I was thinking.
Coldplay, 43 shows and $275 million.
Oh,
Number three, are you ready? Ed Sheeran.
oh my God.
Eddie
All these
S.
people I like completely
I know,
forgot about.
I know, 41 shows. And here's where it gets crazy, the money. Beyonce was number two.
Really?
She played 46 shows. Her tour brought in $460 million, of which she earned $145 million. And coming in at number one, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She played 56 shows, which is a crazy amount of shows to perform. And the whole tour grossed 780 million, 305 which she got to keep. She got to keep $305 million.
That's insane.
I tell you, those are some very talented individuals on that list.
Okay, wait, but Ed Sheeran is number 3.
Ed Sheeran's number 3. Does that disappoint you at all?
Yeah, because like my day and generation, like everyone just hates Ed Sheeran. I don't know
Oh,
why. Everyone has like a weird disliking. It may be because he's like ginger or he's like cringy or something, but I completely forgot about Ed Sheeran.
I tell
So.
you, have you seen the movie Yesterday? He was in the movie Yesterday. He was really good. He played himself, so it wasn't
Okay.
a stretch, but it was really good. Maybe that'll change your mind about Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, I don't know. Our
Okay,
generation just doesn't like
that
him.
was fun. But I would love to see One Direction. I wonder if One Direction, are they still touring?
I have no idea. I low-key never listened to One Direction.
Yeah. But coming in at number 11 was Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
that's not true. I just made that
Oh
one
my
up to
God.
make you feel better. All right, Paige, it's been so much fun talking to you. Will you do me a favor and try to share this with your friends and your friends' parents, this podcast?
This was really cool.
Yeah, good. So if you want to follow along what we're doing in our shows, you just visit @Podfulness on Instagram, also on YouTube if you want to watch this show. And I thank Paige for coming on the show. It's been so much fun talking to you, and we will see and talk to all of you next time on another episode of
Podfulness.